You be coming here by yourself? What? You do?
Yeah, I came here by myself before. You probably got like an hour.
Hey, we love, baby, yay!
Get me out your camera. I'm like, alright. Something crooked as fuck. Thanks for letting me know.
So off rip.
Are we starting?
I mean, well, it's already recording, so it doesn't have to be an intro or anything. It's on. The camera's on.
Okay.
Like off rip, just so. Hold on. You wanna see something crazy?
Ooh, I seen it. That's not it. Oh.
That's all. I just need to show you that real quick. Just need to show you that real quick. That's all. Let me tie that guy back up real quick. Come on, head back on. And we're good to go. So yeah. Oh, that walk, right? No, that was a good walk, wasn't it?
Beginning life crisis?
Huh?
Okay, we'll go back to that. 'Cause it definitely needs to go back. I wish. Okay.
You know.
That walk was ridiculously long. Well, it was very enjoyable at the same time.
Yeah, and right now it feels pretty good too. Like this sun, I don't feel cold at all. Like this sun is.
It's just basking in me.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
kissing the fuck out my
It's kissing me.
face.
It's nourishing my blackness. The melanin is taking it all in, and I'm in love.
Facts. Facts.
This is where I needed to be. I can't even feel the cold around me. Like I'm cold around me, but I'm warm right
Is your hands cold? Like.
You know?
Nah, yeah, your hands warm.
I know it's cold. I feel good. I don't feel cold no more at all, honestly.
Nah, yeah, because the sun beaming like fuck right now.
It is kind of beaming now. We talking about it. But if I don't focus on it, then it feels good. Like,
facts.
Because I need vitamin D.
Word.
Okay. Oh, it's nobody. Nobody cares about me right now, y'all. So.
Oh, jeez. You know, who does care?
Oh, my God. We didn't even talk about... Okay. So we just naturally walking into this?
I mean, yeah.
Topics, but...
Or you want me to do like
nobody's beating my line.
It's Papa Lee, and we're back. Back to another video again with G Harvey, and yeah, you know the vibes. So let's get to it. Was that better?
I feel introduced. So I mean, it's fine though. Like honestly, but yeah, I think this is a big moment of solitude. Like I keep checking my phone, but it's like, girl, you your only friend. That's cool.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta do that. And I feel like we in our 20s now. This is a whole new thing.
It is. It surely is. And like, as far as like the whole phone situation, and for the fact that we're the generation where phone, internet, and all that shit started popping off, we have it the hardest. And what I'm trying to practice right now, I'm not trying to be on my phone. Like, I really don't want to get on my phone unless it's emergency. So like, I don't want to just text randomly. Like, if I'm gonna meet with somebody, I want to just meet with them. Like, I'm not about to keep calling and texting and stuff. I don't think that that's good. I don't think it's healthy at all.
Like all that falling asleep on the phone shit. And Monty was just talking about that. She was like, this generation is so weird. Like, y'all can't even have nothing to talk about because y'all spend all the time talking and talking.
Yeah.
Talking. Like, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Like, you know, my parents talk like one time out the day. All right, bye. Go to work. And then they just see each other at the end of the day. Like, so I definitely feel what you're saying. Like,
and that's when I was bringing up that video from before, talking about the let's link. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that like with the girls coming in and all that shit, what they were saying was like, oh yeah, you ruined the vibe because you want to see me in person so bad. Like that's all I was thinking, because like the thing is that happened to me before as well. And like, I'm not gonna say things name, but like that person had no problem texting me, calling me, all that shit. I put it on my life. I've never seen her outside of school. On me. And
that's
all this
crazy.
shit about she liked me and shit. Never seen her outside school. I've invited her out here. I'm like, all right, we could go to the mountain. 2 times she's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I got something to do right now. Like bullshit. But anywho, that's the whole venting thing. Off that,
I think that's crazy, because it's like, that's what I'm saying, it's probably like a mindset thing. Like in your mind you're thinking this, like, you know, let's link, let's go out, let's see each other. And in her mind she probably just thinking like, oh, this nigga just on some, you know what I'm saying? But it really be like communication. Like, it really be a lack of communication. Like,
That's exactly
you
what
really
it
can't
is.
assume people know more. Like, you can't assume what I know and what you know. Like, and that's a problem. This whole, like, say what you want. Say what you want. Say what you bring in. And we either gonna vibe or we not. But all that because, or you should know, all that.
Right, you gotta
waste of time.
communicate. Shit, you gotta communicate. I feel like a lot of people aren't transparent. Like, being transparent, that shit is okay. Like, bro, be you. Be you, sis, be you, whatever it may be. Who gives a fuck? It's either they fuck with you or they don't.
Yeah.
And, like, if it's something like, especially inside relationships, a lot of relationships, motherfuckers don't try to communicate. Like, but then I also realize inside relationship there are different types of relationships where some people they look for one thing but not the other. Like, I may try to look for a relationship and communication may be top tier for me. That may be the number one thing, but for somebody else that may not be their top shit. They may not need communication or want to communicate as much, but as my top priority, that's gonna fuck up the whole relationship because it's two different things. But yeah, so those topics that you had, well, I know we had a couple you had a couple in your deck. So
I did have a couple of topics, but I also wanted to go back on what you just said because I feel like you never know what somebody will put up with unless you ask them. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people be willing to go through things if you just tell them what's up, but instead you try to put a mask on and be the person that you think they want you to be, when in reality they just wanted you to be themselves. And it could really be messing up the aesthetic. Let me change that.
I agree.
We trying to get out of the ding ding dings, but topics.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that because yeah, communication is really up there. I really don't think long lasting relationships, I don't think they last without that key communication. And if you just went into date, that's cool. That's not the same thing. People, it's okay if you just want to date, but like a relationship, gotta communicate. Gots to.
I mean, I think to any people who are like trying to combine their lives, because at the end of the day you just two different people coming together and saying we're going to have this experience together. You really can only worry about your half. Like, you can't worry about their half and their happiness and this and that. Like, that all has to come from them.
Yeah,
and you have to come from you, and then y'all just together combining both halves. Like, so you have to communicate. You just have to be you have to be like, this is me, this is who I am. Who are you?
right.
Okay, I like that too. Okay, so let's just do that. So just say what the fuck it is, what it's not.
And that's kind of the harder part for most people, because like you would want to get inside a relationship to try to build with someone, and that's what most people want to do. But the sad truth is, like, you got to build yourself first, and then you get together with that person. It doesn't work the other way around. It barely does, if anything. Barely does.
Okay, so these are my topics. And you could see which resonates, which you want to go with, and we could go there. Okay, so my first topic was book club, because I posted on Instagram and said, who wants to join my book club? I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to do with it exactly, but I was like, I read a lot. I want y'all recommendations. What y'all reading? You know what I'm saying? And I only got 2 people that voted out of the 200 people that watched my story that wanted to join my book club. And that really hurt my feelings. It didn't hurt my feelings, but it just really hit me different, because I was like, all this worthless information. Anyways, that's a topic. But anyways, we were just talking about how much we read. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, wisdom is power. Like, you know, nobody can ever go in your brain and say, I know this, I know you don't know this, or I know you don't. Like, once you have it in your head, you have it, and nobody can take that from you.
Yeah,
facts. That's powerful.
On me.
To educate somebody on something, or just be able to add to a conversation. You never know who's around you, what kind of conversation they have, and you can add to it, you know. But if you're taking in that same worthless information all day, that's all you know to speak on. You know, it'd be like them girls that just speak in TikTok.
Yeah.
Like that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. No, I'm not even gonna bring that up. But yeah, I definitely I agree. I agree with you on that shit. And the thing is, out of those 200 people, for one thing, I was gonna say, like, people that's inside high school, a lot of them, like most of them, they're not gonna think the same as you, and it all has to do with the group that you're on. So like the people that surround you, like, as you start to work on yourself more, you're gonna surround yourself with people that do the same. So like, out of that 200 people, that was probably just a lot of people that you're just not gonna think the same, and unless they work on themselves, that shit is not gonna happen. But if you put that same 200 views into other people that think just like you and I, or whatever else it may be, of course there's gonna be more people that's more interactive, because they understand how powerful this shit is, or they that they need it, or that they need to build and grow themselves. A lot of people don't look to build and grow themselves. They just think that it's real stagnant, and it's either you do it or you don't, or you can't do it. It's not like that.
Yeah. I mean, then I'm like, well, damn, where's my group? Where's my group of people that we could just, because I know what I want. I know it's not that much what I'm asking for. This is really simple. This is really there for me. Like, this is a day of events that's really good for me, honestly. And we just got a smoothie and went to the mountain.
Facts.
And I don't think that's better than just, but I guess it'll just come to place. Like, I'll meet more people. Like, this is a new chapter. It's new characters. I seen somebody say that. Like, this is a new chapter with all new characters and all new people. And I think that's really dope. Like, you look at your life like that. Like,
yeah,
it's a new movie. It's another part of the movie. Like,
that's exactly how it is. It takes time to find that right group of people, and that's why I'm saying to myself, like, I really don't want to get into a relationship until like 23, 24 or so. And it's not because like I want to stay away from it, but like the group of people that I know right now, it's mostly people that's not in the same mindset or mind frame as me. But as I grow and I continue to do the things that I'm doing, I'm gonna find more people that's into the same shit. So like by the time I'm like 23, 24, I'll probably have like a whole, not to say a bunch of people, but like I'll have a bigger circle of people that think just like me. And then from that, it'll be way easier to be inside a long lasting relationship with somebody who thinks similar to me. I feel like that shit is really key, to see that it's okay for the time frame to go by and you to be able to pick and choose who you should be around, or who's more like you, because that shit benefits. It benefits in the long run. What type of books do you read? Like what genres and stuff?
I read a lot of self-help books, a lot of books on like mind space and like how our brain works and stuff like that. Because, you know, we just constantly live in a conversation with ourselves. So you need to make sure you're thinking happy things and things that will elevate you. If you get your mind, you know, some people walk around with anxiety all day, just letting their brain control them, like not even feeling it control their own self. Like they can't sleep, they just constantly thinking. And so you got to get in control of like how you have to learn how to use your brain. Like it's like anything else, you got to learn how to use it. You got to take time to figure out how it works so you can use it for the right things. So I read a lot of books on that, but sometimes I like to mix it up, read a little bit of like, I don't know, just something good with a good plot, you know, like a good fiction, not too much fiction, non-fiction, it don't really matter, but something like a good plot. And sometimes I read books on like money, like investing and learn about money, getting my financial intelligence. Like, I think the first book I read for financial intelligence was Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Of course.
I love that book. Like, it really opened it up. I was like, okay, this is it. Like, I gotta learn about this. Like, it really got me hungry. I was like, because he just explained, like, you know, people really don't be knowing much about money. Like, and they just give up. Like, they just be like, oh, the government sucks. But, like, it's a whole thing to this. Like,
when did you read that?
Tool. I read that when I was working at the warehouse. And I remember slaving at the warehouse, and I didn't hate that job, but it was just so dehumanizing, because you just hear the beeps all day. It was easy. It was the easiest job I had. But I remember I would have my AirPods in, 1 hour, and I would just be doing that all day, listening to it, and it just got me geared up. It got me excited. I was like, I'm gonna have to stack my money up, quit that job. And I was like, when I quit this job, I'm not going back to another 9 to 5. I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to make money without going to work. I was like, I'm gonna figure that I can't do this, because if I do this, that's just me taking the easy route. Like, it's other routes, but this is just the easiest one. And I haven't been back at the job since. I was like 8 months ago. I just been on my savings. It's not like I got a lot of savings, but it's just like, you know, you just gotta have certain things you like. I know,
and that's where you keep your expenses. That's where it helps you manage your expenses and budgeting and shit. And like, this is what I was talking about when we was walking as well. When I was saying that I'm not really working as much, and like I'm pretty much like how I said, rich people don't exchange their time for money. Inside Rich Dad Poor Dad, this nigga said that they're like, I tried this shit. He said, try to work for free, because when you work for free, it puts you in a mindset where it's like, damn, I'm not really making any money by doing this. But for one, you're learning, and while you're learning, that shit gives you it powers you to think of outside of the box. Because I think with him, I think he was working at a bookstore for free, and he was able to get like free comics or whatever. And like, he was still working there for free, but he was able to get free comics every now and then. Yeah,
I was like, that was crazy.
Exactly, and he used that shit to make his own little bookstore that he can rent it out and shit. So it's like, I don't know if that's made up, or regardless of the fact, that's a fire ass way to put it. And just explaining that, that's really facts, because all you need is a certain knowledge, and like, you just, once you get the knowledge, like, you can really think of any other output to get the situation done. And that's why I became a realtor. I was never planning on making a lot of money as a realtor. It was only for me to learn it. I wanted to learn how to network with people and just like be more open. Because I know how you, like, when I was inside school, I used to be quiet as shit. I didn't really talk. And that's why I threw myself right into real estate. That shit fucked me up, but like mentally. But I'm way better at networking. I can talk to people. I know how to negotiate with people. And that's a big thing.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, you negotiate with everything. Whether you want a job, whether you want a house, a car. Like, you negotiate with your kids when you have kids. Like, it's all, everything is with negotiating. That's a really good tool to fucking learn.
Yeah, talking to people is very important.
Yeah.
You can miss out on a lot because you're too scared, or you don't know how to start the conversation, or you say something wrong and it just throws them all off. Like, being able to articulate yourself really good, say what you want, say how it'll benefit them. Like, just put it all out there, and they could just, that's a good skill. So I think, I mean, it worked. I mean, I don't know, you said you messed up, but I feel like it happened for a reason, because now you on to the next thing. So you think you ever gonna be back, like, selling the house, or?
It depends. It depends. And like if I feel like I want to, I want it to be something like, if I'm in the mood to, I want to sell some homes, like, just for the time being. But like, I fucked up in the sense that, like, I threw myself in the deep end too fast and too far, because I went from inside high school not talking to anybody, like, throughout the whole day, to talking to somebody every single day, and that shit was draining for me, really draining, because I'm not that outgoing, extroverted person. It's not as easy for me. But throughout that, I learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
So it really does not matter. Like, I learned so much from it that it was worth it. All that time was worth it. It's just that I fucked up my mental kind of going towards the end. But it's okay though.
Yeah, I'm saying, at least you recognize it wasn't what it was that was affecting you or whatever, and you didn't just throw it away. It was like, this not working for me. Like, at least you took something from it. So that's all that matters, honestly.
Facts. How many? What were you saying?
I was gonna say, it's just always that next step. Like, you can only do what's right in front of you.
Facts.
It feels right now.
And that's it. Like, a lot of people see failure as them, like, I just fucked up. But like, you have to look at failure as something that you learn. Like, yeah, you fucked up, but what did you learn from it? And that's why I don't really think in a negative mindset anymore. Because anything, no matter how many times I fuck up, I know at the end of the day, like, I did something. Like, I experienced. The experience is the most positive thing, because now you can take that same experience, and once you go over it and do it again, now you know what to be prepared for.
Facts.
I need to take these bands out. This shit got me talking fucked up. But have you only read one of his books, or you seen some other?
I think he does have other books. I think I read one comment that was like, he kept saying the same thing basically. I didn't buy it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should. But I read a couple more too. I read another one the other day. What's it called? The Millionaire's Mind or something like that. And also, I read a little bit of Think Rich and Grow Rich or whatever. I also listen to 50 Cent book. He has I used to listen to the audiobooks on YouTube. I used to listen to the audiobooks when I was at work. I never bought the books. But I had an Audible trial for Think Dad Poor Dad. That's a good. I had Audible's good.
I didn't know 50 Cent had a book.
Oh, he does, and it's really good, because he come from a whole different place, a whole different environment, and he talks about how he used his environment. Like, he talks about how he got shot and all of that. He talks about how all that, because he's a very big businessman to this day. Like, he's there. So it was cool to get his perspective also, because you get Rich Dad Poor Dad. He actually had an intelligent, already rich person to speak to get his information from. Facts. Which is good. But I'm just saying, like, it gives you another perspective from somebody who didn't have that at all, how they got it. Because I'm gonna have to be that person for my siblings, the person that knows to go to, but somebody got to do it.
Yeah, so, it's a big role to play. It's definitely a big role to play.
Man.
And it's I'm not sure how you are with other family, but with me right now, for the, like, literally, and it's just another draining thing for me, and I'll put myself in my own position. I did this to myself. Everybody inside my family, from cousins, uncles, aunts, when I say it, everybody comes to me about everything. Everything, whether it's like with finances or like family issues and shit. Like, I'm in a sense like that, like I don't know how to explain it, but like, literally they come to me about everything, and it's kind of draining, but it's something that I know I need to help with, because I'm the only one that I feel like I feel like I'm the only one that couldn't do it, because if it hasn't happened so far, and I'm on the path to do it, I have no other choice but to continue to keep doing it. Do you feel like you pretty much inside of like the same situation where, like, your success is like dependent on everybody else's well-being in a sense?
I mean, I feel like I'm just hell of an empathetic person as it is anyways. And so it's already kind of hard to figure out who's coming to me because they genuinely need it or who's coming to me because they know I'll give it to them. So that's the problem with me sometimes, is I'll be like, you know what, like, also I am getting all this information, I can help you with your situation, but it's like I could tell you how I did it too, and you could definitely put those steps into action at the same time. So you have to have like boundaries, like, because I mean, you grown too. Like, I just picked up a book. Like, I explain that, and then it turns them off, and they're like, oh, I'm not finna, you know. So it's like, okay, well, so it's just like that's probably a part of growing up too.
It's the mindset thing. It's with how you mature and with the whole mindset. And so, like, this is why now I'm on to, I started off with the financial books like Rich Dad Poor Dad and all this stuff, like millionaire stuff, but I'm kind of past that, because my biggest thing is not really to get money, it's to figure out how to make people happy, like how to make sure my family's happy, or like friends or whatever it may be. And I found out that everything, like, yeah, money is good, but there's a way to feel good in the moment, even though that you're going through bad shit. So at the moment, I'm reading through psychology books, economic books, and figuring out different solutions. And this is why I'm going to Puerto Rico, because it's a business I'm trying to work on, and I'm trying to find a solution to people. Everything that I see inside my life, like my overall goal, I want to find a solution so that people can die at peace. That's my biggest thing. Because if you're able to live through your life, or let's say it's unfortunately you're not able to live through most of your life, and God forbid you're about to pass, I would rather somebody be able to die at peace, and that they're comfortable and not like dying really stressed out or something. Because I feel like that's the worst thing to happen to anybody.
Like Eddie working at Walmart.
Wait, no, I didn't hear what you said.
I said like 80 working at Walmart.
80. Oh, I mean, in a sense, that is in a sense, but it's deeper than that, because like there are rich people that feel really bad. So that's why I thought to myself, it's not really just all about the money most of the time. And for the fact that I was about to start making like 10 to 15K a month, and once I got to that mode, like, I kind of experienced what it felt like, and I'm like, damn, yes, I may be able to get my mom's a new car, a new house or whatever, but that's still not going to fix what the fuck is happening inside our household right now. So that kind of geared me off, like, it turned me off from like trying to make as much money as to now I'm helping her with like her mental state and her emotions and stuff. I feel like doing that is a lot more productive, so that when she is able to handle that, it's a lot more likely that she'll be able to handle her finances a lot better as well. I feel like that's a really, really big thing, and that's the main reason why I'm trying to work on this shit that I'm trying to work on and trying to move out, because I do want to help in that way, because I am empathetic as well. So it's like, and I feel like that, well, for people who are empathetic, I feel like that's where the overthinking comes in. That's where the knowledge comes in, because you want to help, and it's something that's more than just you. Once it's more than you and you realize it, and like you kind of feel for other people, that should put you in a position where it's like, okay, I need to get this knowledge. And other people that's not trying to read those books and stuff, they're more so thinking about themselves. And you can't go that far just thinking about yourself alone. You can't. For most people, at least. Yeah.
That's crazy you said that, though. Because, like, I literally was, like, at one point, like, okay, I got to read all these money books. I'm going to set a date when I need to get this money. I'm going to put a picture of how much money I want on the wall so I can see it every day. And then if I keep doing that, then it's going to bring me the money and all that. And then I was like, you know what? I really got to figure out who I am and how I'm going to help people and how I'm going to get... Because it really has to come back from love, everything you do. Because once it comes from love, you're not going to be worried about how much money you're making. You're going to be feeling more about who you're helping, and then the money just gonna come anyways, because you helping.
Exactly.
You doing your purpose here. So once you figure that out, then it's just you happy. You're gonna be happy about life because you're doing what you want to do. Then you're gonna be happy. I mean, you could be in a good position. It's just like that's all. When you're just about money, then the money gonna be here, and it's gonna be like, okay, now what?
Then what? Yeah.
It's just gonna be. It's just a tool. It's just a tool. It's
at the
not
end of the day,
the whole picture. The whole picture is all these people around here with all these problems. How are you gonna help them? How are you gonna give them love? How are you gonna help their lives? Like, how are you gonna make the world a better place? Like, I feel like that's all our purposes here. So now I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do what's gonna be my thing to help everybody else, than rather what's gonna make me money. Cause you just always gonna feel dried out after doing that, you know? I mean, it might work. You're gonna get the money, but it's just gonna be like, You know, it just all has to come back from love. Everything you do has to come from a loving place, and it has to come from like a higher place. Like, I don't know.
I hear you. I hear you. And the people who are like the happiest and have a lot of money, and I'm not talking like most millionaires and stuff, like there's a lot of billionaires that's like really happy. Like you can see that they're really happy, and it's because they didn't do it for the money. They did it because they were passionate about it. Like I'm not sure about fucking Jeff Bezos. I don't know much about him, but like Warren Buffett, this nigga, he's like that nigga. He got mad fucking bread, but he was doing what the fuck he liked to do. So like that's why he was kind of happy within his situation. And then other people, I can't think of their names, but like they were doing what they thought makes themselves happy, and at the end of it, they just started getting money. So it's like the money came along with it, but they were still, the root of it was them doing something that they enjoyed and something that they were passionate about. I can't remember what's the guy for not Apple. It was some other guy, some guy that Warren Buffett is friends with, and he's literally like, this nigga, who gives a, like, he can't say that other people, like even people shit on him and say whatever about him. This nigga's happy. He said he got the money and he's fucking happy, and it's not because he chased the money. It was because, like, he was saying, I really loved coding when I was younger. Like I that's all I just did. I just code. I love coding. And he didn't say I wanted to make a lot of money. I love coding and I wanted to figure out how I can help these people. That was the whole premise of it. So like I feel like if you find something that you're passionate about and you work towards it, a way to make money will come. So like let me ask you this: if you had $100 million right now, what job would you do for free? Like an actual job, like what would you do for free?
What would I do for free? I would freaking open up. I want to open up like boys and girls clubs all over the place, and like neighborhoods and all type of stuff. Like I would like have a place where kids can go after school for free, because you know daycare is so expensive, and it's just like that can really stress. I remember staying up until 12 at night watching my siblings, and my mom was at work working because she couldn't do daycare, and I had two twin babies and a little boy, and I'm over here like 13, 14 missing out on my teenage years because I had to stay home and babysit. So I would have a place where they can go and they could be free. They have like, you know, a gym and like game rooms and stuff like that, and like actual environment, like a whole little club when you get home. Like that make you excited to get home from school and actually, you know, be with other kids instead of being in the streets or being on TikTok, being on your phone. Because I hate when my siblings just on TikTok and just on YouTube just sitting. I was like, I would be having so much fun as a kid. Like just so much adventure, so much imagination, so many thoughts. And like when like society starts putting all that stuff in your mind, you start losing like your childlike qualities. So I would do that. Is that even
no? That's
an answer?
I mean, you know, you definitely did answer, because there ain't shit like that. At least that not that I know of. Yeah, that's something. The only thing that I can think of, like a place. No, that's not even a thing. Because the only thing that I'm thinking about is like not a shelter home, but like a forced home for kids. But that's free in a sense, like to a certain extent. And like you thinking of something like that, if that's something that you really would like to do, as you think about it, like right now it may not seem like something that's as easy, but like the more that you do more research and stuff, like as you keep reading books, it's gonna be like, oh, you know what, I can, the way that I can like fund for this shit so that they don't have to pay for it is if I do X, Y, and Z. So like shit like that, it would seem impossible to most people, but like as you start working towards it, that shit it starts to make sense. The shit starts to make sense, because you talking about what you're talking about, I'm in a sense, I'm kind of thinking of a way where I can help as well, where it's not to the expense of teens or kids or anything as well. So with my business, I'm trying to do it where I have like a system where adolescents, it's called Adolescent Development Association, and adolescents that could be from like middle school, like 6th grade to about like 28 or so, because it's a long span. And this is to like really give these people, these kids, more like life usable things, like more things that they really need. Like whether it started off with finances, credit, and all that, but I understand that it needs to go deeper than that. It goes with their mental, like how they can handle not raging, how to really go about situations rather than just like saying, okay, let me just try to beat his ass, or or like when it comes to sex, and when it just all those things that we don't talk about, and things that a lot of adults and parents struggle with as well. So it's like if we can instill it into them when they're young, it's gonna be where they grow up and they still have these things, and then now they can probably teach their kids and say, okay, you don't do it this way, but like just the right things that we need. Because I had to learn like I had to go through trial and error, like when my pops not being there and shit. Like, okay, I don't try to just fuck girls and then do blah blah blah. I don't try to just do this so I can think that somebody think I'm cool or something. Like, there are certain things that people need to know, like not caring about other people's opinions. That whole high school era era of things.
High school and middle school, that's been a whole different experience.
That shit fucks you up for real.
It does.
Because think about it, when you're inside elementary school and shit, you don't really, well, you do kind of think about it more and more now I think about it, but from before, people with like kids, you can play around and do things, and you're not really thinking about how everybody else is thinking about you. You're just doing you.
Right.
You probably think about like your crush thinking about you. That's it.
Right.
But as you get older, it's more and more people like, okay, how would everybody feel if I, like, inside class? That's a simple thing. Somebody raising their hand and getting the answer wrong, that can scare the shit out of somebody because they don't want to feel stupid or feel dumb. But the thing is, it's okay because you're inside school to learn, and that shit, like, people, it's just a lot of dumb shit that we need to get over, and that we all have these issues. Like, it's just a lot of things that needs to be worked on. That's why I'm trying to work on it, and I'm trying to get it inside the school system where the government can pay for it in a sense. But I'm not trying to ask for the government help. Like, I'm gonna make it where it's like, yeah, it makes sense for you. You gotta give me the money, or else I'm gonna find another way to get the shit done.
Right.
Because there's a lot of ways that I feel like I could go about it, and
that's important.
Yeah, it really is
important, because a lot of some kids don't make it out. Some kids end up killing themselves for real because they just can't figure it out, and they don't have nobody to talk to about it, and they just think something's wrong with them. But had they had like somebody to talk to, they had the guidance to know this is just a moment in time, you're gonna make it out. Like, I wish I could go back to them places where I felt like I was just so down bad. Like, they try to brush it off like, oh, you're just in high school, it's just a breakup, it's just, they'll get over it. But sometimes you'll be feeling like you're really done, like you really be feeling like this is it, like this is my real life, you know. But now that I'm out of it, I can look back and be like, okay, that was just a moment in time, like life really is starting right now. But when you there, it don't have to be like that. So that's very important, honestly.
Really,
I was thinking I'd be like a not like a counselor or anything, but I just wish I could talk to like people in school, like, right, and I wish I could just talk to them and like, you know, how are you doing? Like, I wish I could come check up on them, be like mental mindset checkups. They can come to my office, like, you know, all the little problems they think they have, because that stuff really be eating you up. And I wish I had somebody to talk. Like you said, that it needs to be talked about. Stuff really doesn't get talked about like it needs to, and it's like it's not, because it's just a lack of education, a lack of knowledge, a lack of wisdom. Always going back to knowledge is power.
Yeah,
people, facts. It's power. That's really
all you need in life. You just, because like literally, when you go through life, what else are you keeping with you besides what the fuck is in your head? Your wisdom and your fucking experience and shit. Like what you see, what you hear, what you learn. All this shit, like, this is how people feel happy. This is how people make money. Like, all the things revolve around how you think and your mindset. It all comes right back to what you know. It comes right back to what you know.
Oh, I got a quote for this. It says, as you grow older, you get younger, because spirit... Oh, junk.
So you're not home?
No.
Oh my god. Is Eddie home?
I'm on a mountain. Yeah, he home. He should be home. He got his car.
What? Why are you on a mountain? What are you doing?
I'm kind of doing a podcast. Hi, it's Ali.
Hello.
But the quote was like, as you grow older, you get younger, because spiritually, like, you grow so much. Like, the little stuff that bothers you in life, you know so much about it. Life is peaceful at that point, so you really get younger. You're supposed to get younger as you get older. Right. You should really be like a kid living through life, like, curious about everything. You should be curious about things all the time. Like, you just don't, it's always something to learn. So you should just always be ready to learn. Because, like, it's look around us. Like, there's something to learn about everything around us right now. And if you just think you know everything, if you think you got all the knowledge and power, you're just gonna be stuck. Like, you're just gonna be just your old patterns over and over and over again. Like, that's why I love reading so much.
Yeah.
It's just like so much to learn, like so much to read. I can go through a million books.
And I feel like that's the exciting part for me, because like it's not that I really enjoy reading, it's the fact that I know that I can get something from me reading. Like that part, like it's like I'm like, damn, like I didn't think of this that way, and now like that shit just clicked. And this is a book that I'm reading right now. I cannot think of the name of it, but damn, what's the name?
Come on, I need the name. I need to know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna get the name. I'm gonna get the name for you.
Okay.
But like pretty much, she like it was a professor at some school, and she's in psychology, and she did like these small little thingies with the students just to see different perspectives, and she kind of separated inside 2 different categories: the growth mindset and the I think she said the stable mindset. And there was this is how she panned it out. She asked 2 different people that she knew that 2 different groups of people. She knew that they were different through the mindsets. And she said, let's say this happened. You studied for a long time. It's a class that you really enjoyed. And it turns out that you got a D+ on the test. You're really mad. Because you put so much effort into it. And right after that, you go outside to your car, and it turns out that you got a ticket. You got to pay a $200 fine. That happens. And after that, you call your friend to let them know, like, oh, you having a bad day, whatever it may be. And your friend just brushed up like, oh, yeah, okay. And she wanted to ask them how they felt about it after. Like, what would they do? The people on the stable mindset, they would say like, well, like I feel like a failure. I feel like I like everybody hates me because like my friend, they didn't want to talk to me and stuff. I feel like that everybody's against me. Just a bunch of negative stuff. And when it came to the growth mindset people, they say, well, I need to study more. And with me getting the ticket, I need to watch where I park next time. And with the friend that just brushed it off, they would say, oh, I don't know if something's wrong with them for them to just brush me off. Like, I would want to check up on them to see how they're doing. So the difference between the mindsets, that's a lot. There's a lot that goes on, because you going through a situation like that, like you'll probably have the growth mindset and say like, okay, this happened and this is why it happened, so I need to do this. But somebody completely different, they'll say like, I fucked up, and like there's nothing else that they can do about it. And like I really want to get more about the book, because that's pretty much the same. Like that, I wanted to figure out why I was so different from like my siblings and shit, like how they would do things and I would do that. And that's exactly why, like, they have a different mindset, which makes them feel like it's like they can't fix it. Like it's either this or it's not. Right. And that's the way that they think about most of this stuff. And I'm gonna tell you about that book. Because I'm pretty sure you'd probably
really
like that.
You know, we could do our book club.
Yeah, facts.
We could do our book club. I feel like it's a really good book that we could read, that you can read. I'm reading about miracles and about. It's so good. It's so good. We gotta, yeah, so for sure. So
see,
I could do that.
We could make a bigger community of book club, like later on.
Like, but right now, I mean, like, I'll read it, let you know how I feel about it, and then you can read yours, and we can talk about it later.
Yeah, facts.
That's fine with me. We can see what we took, because you know, sometimes you read a book and it's 1,000,000 points, but you take away 5 things. But those 5 things is what you needed to hear. So you can always take. I can always take one thing from a book I read, and that means something, like. Because these people spent years and years and years doing research, so they know what they're talking about. Like, you can brush something off and be like, I didn't really like it. I feel like he was just BS. But, you know, I feel like anybody that got passionate about something, like, there's truth in something. Like, they spent time, like, it's truth. So, that one thing, like, that one quote really took me there, because they were like, in other countries, that's why old people are so, like, noble to them. Like, they treat old people with so much, like, care, because they know how much wisdom and how much they've elevated in this lifetime, so they treat them with care. Unlike America, KKK, it's like, maybe I shouldn't say that, I'm sorry. Maybe in America, it's just like, oh, you can't work anymore, so you're not good. Like, you know, you're worthless, like, you're old, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So we bring down
that
old
is
people.
Facts.
We make it seem like they're bad for getting old, but getting old is good. Like, getting old is really, like, you get wiser, like, you get more peaceful. Like, those 80-year-olds, 90, that's why they be so at peace with everything, because they like, I learned my lesson here. Yeah. Like, really, life is like school. Really, it's like a big old school. A classroom.
See, and
constant classroom.
Exactly, and like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you definitely have a growth mindset, because, and like, it's. Oh, that scared the fuck out of me. Oh my gosh.
Not that hand sanitizer.
But some people, they like. some people they feel like, how do I say, like I'll put my, I don't know, I can't say no specifics, never mind. But like some people they really feel like I was saying for me before, that it's either you can do it or you can't.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people really feel like you're either smart or you're dumb. Like you can't fix your smartness. Like you can't fix how much knowledge you got. A lot of people really think like that, and it's hard for me to wrap my finger around that. But like a lot of people really do that. So it's like, in order for them to switch their mindset, you have to figure out a way to get them out of that, to like let them realize that, like, yeah, life is a school. Like you have to learn. If you don't learn, then yes, you're gonna be stuck in the same place.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a really big challenge. I'm not too sure, because like if somebody found a solution to it, I feel like this shit would have been into play. It would have been into play.
Yeah, you gotta give them time. I mean, as long as you still in that corner all the time, they gonna hear you eventually and be like, you know what, nothing else is working, and they gonna finally do it. Like my cousin, she was horrible with this shit, and now she's reading books, sending me podcasts, and then she can come tell me now. This just happened to me like yesterday. Like I was really down bad, and then she told me, you know what, Jordan, you helped me a lot. You really helped, and it took me back, because I'm like, wow, like, because that's something I want to do for the earth. Like I was like, I want to be able to tell people this and this, because people say sometimes stuff come out of my mouth and it just be like, you know what I'm saying? But to know that that's already happening with people close to me, without the money, without the fame, without anything, I'm already changing, helping people's lives just by being me where I'm at right now. So I mean, I just think because I used to be like that too. I used to have really bad anxiety in school. I used to be horrible. Like I used to have like the mindset you say people have now, like the whatchamacallit?
The stable mindset.
So yeah, everybody's just always on a journey. So you just gotta meet people where they at.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Meet people where they at and let them come to you. Let them come with it or let them not. But either way.
But it's kind of hard though, because like that's what makes me feel bad in a sense. And this is where my empathy comes in, because it's not only just us as teens and shit, like adults. And I always see it this way. Like it might be bad for me to say it this way, but I see a lot of adults as just like grown kids. Like I kind of see myself a lot more mature than a lot of them. And even for my grandmother, like there are a lot of elderly that they got to understand, and like they're like, okay, I lived it. And yeah, she's at that point too, but like you can tell that she's still like, there's still some things that like
not content with
things. Like it affects her. And it's something that she could grow on. And there's plenty of other people that's just like that. So it's like, not even with teens and like people in their 20s and shit, like there are full grown people and they have the same issues, because life comes so fast as well. It comes fast. So the issues that you have now, if you don't fix it, you go right into it. I
feel like we in really, like, our era is kind of messed up. This world is weird, but I feel like we in a good era too, because like all the information we need is like right there. Like my mama was having me at this age. She was having a baby. She was like making real life decisions at 20 years old. Like she had a boyfriend, and that changes everything. I feel like that's the time that was really like it's all different. Like, I feel like our generation, we could really make choices. Like they could always make choices. I mean, it just depends, I guess. But I just feel like that was like the thing back then. Like, let's get married now. We just graduated high school. Like, let's get married. Like, let's have a baby. And then that one decision, that's your whole life now. And so now, and then I was saying, like, this is really the time to learn who you are. So if you like automatically like make those big decisions, then you never have the time to actually sit back and figure out who you want it to be. So that could be something that you never get content with either. Like, I mean, I don't know everybody's situation. I'm just saying, like, I understand how it could be, but it is hard. But I just got to realize everybody on their own thing, and I just always be there, you know. But I know it could be hard though. It's just like, I know how life could be for you. I know how one shift from here to there could really change everything. But at the same time, everybody's on their own thing. So, and I mean, you're not in control. Somebody else, it all has a place in the way it's supposed to. It always has a place. Because had you not seen that, it would probably never triggered you to change the way you're supposed to be. And it would have never made you have the thought to get up and change something. So you making it better for a whole bunch of people. And unfortunately, somebody else had to be in a different place, but at the same time it had a very bigger difference, all because of you. So I mean, like, it always ends up going back to something else. Like like same thing. Like it's always good to the bad. Always, they go hand in hand, yin and yang, black and yellow. Like, it's always good where there's evil. It's always what the mindset is.
And yeah, so when it comes to how people turn out to be, I kind of I narrowed it down to like 3 different things. It's like environment, timing, and perspective. And I feel like that affects a lot of things, because most people with growth mindsets is because they were inside a situation where they couldn't really do anything, but they had to figure out another situation. Like they want to change something. And for me, that was my older brother. Like he was way better with me in sports, like with anybody, like whether it was with females, just like friends, everything. Like he had a lot of stuff better. And for the fact that I wasn't good in sports, I didn't look that good when I was younger. I had to figure out other ways how to make friends, and I was really weird and all that stuff. It made me think of other ways and other outputs to the person that I am today. And for you, I'm sure it could be just like how you were saying, how you couldn't really go out when you were in your teens and you had to take care of your siblings and stuff. So that happening, that's making you think of other solutions of when you can do this or what you should do.
Right. And
that's where that perspectives come in that. And for the stable mindset, like there's some people that I know, like they're really good in sports and stuff, and like their parents would like they kind of, not to say that they baby them, but they keep them inside the mindset where it's like, okay, yeah, you're good at this, and like they don't have any type of hardships. They're already good at something and they continue to do it. And there are some friends that I have, they were good inside football and they graduate, but they can't play football no more. But since they've been good in football all their life, that's all they know. So they were probably thinking like, okay, so if this is all I know, this is all I can do, and now I can't do shit else. They're kind of stuck, rather than them trying to think, okay, what can I do now? So on how are you feeling on a physical, mental, and emotional standpoint right now, like in the year so far? How are you feeling
in 2022? Man, 2022 came. I was on go. I was racing all through 2021. I was like, I got ideas, I got business plans, I was running. And then 2022 hit, and I just felt like a wall was in front of me. I could not get, like, it was like a wall in front of me. I couldn't move no more. I think it was telling me to calm down. It was telling me to like get back level, because I was just trying to be, I was trying to hold too many plates at the same time. So now I feel like I'm taking a lot of time to be in my body. I'm meditating again, I'm starting to pray again. And I'm feeling really like, I feel good. Like physically, I feel like I feel more of myself. I feel more of my spirit. Like I feel more of like, who is Goerlynn? Like I'm trying to figure out, I feel like we should always be mysterious about who we are. We know who our friends are, our boyfriends are, our girlfriends are. We know who our mothers are. We know all these other people. Who are you? Like I feel like we need to spend more time figuring out who we are, asking those questions. So that's really what I'm about right now, mentally and physically, just taking time to just relax and figure out me. Like, it's okay. I had to teach myself that. I was like, it's okay to not have 5 different things to do. Like, just spending a lot of time is something to do. Like, that'll make a very big difference in the future, just taking that time to. So I'm really constant. I'm not constant. I'm very much growing, but I'm definitely just relaxed, in a relaxed place right now.
And that's good, yeah, because that's completely different than just being inside like a stable mindset. Because if you're purposely just relaxing because like you understand everything that's going on, you like, okay, my mind needs to relax because so much is going on, that's completely different. That's good. That is completely okay. You and I, we're doing the same shit right now, because like yeah, because I haven't worked for a while since I stopped with my realtor shit. I'm chilling, and that's why, like, anybody who reached out to me and say that they wanted to become a realtor, I kind of wanted to ask, like, why is it that you want to become a realtor? And it comes off as one way, like you may want to do it just to do X, Y, and Z, but then once you actually get it, you may not feel like this is something that you're meant to do. So it's really good to see, like, who are you, and then seeing what you're passionate about. Because once you do that, it's like, okay, now I can do this. And like, even if there's some hardship, you're not going to really feel bad about it, because like, you know that this is you and this is what you want to do. So like, me being a realtor, that was not something that I wanted to do. Like, it was just a piece from me doing something that's going to help me later on. And if I would have stayed into it any longer, I would have probably been inside a way worse position than right now.
That's interesting. I mean, that's so crazy. That's crazy how life. I mean, I feel like we just always on like a to B. Choose this path and it'll go this way, or choose this path and it'll go this way. Like, we just constantly making decisions, and it's constantly just. And that's definitely part of the growth mindset too. Just always knowing that either way you make, you're gonna get something from it. Like, Facts. It's never a bad decision, honestly. Yeah. Like, you could be in like a a weird place at a time, but at the end of the day you'll get out of it, and then you'll make another one, and then you can make another decision, and you can make another one. Like, that's why you really just got to stay where you at and just make decisions based on that. Like, you can only do, because I've seen a quote was like, you can only go to life, like when you're driving in the dark and you looking through the lights, like the headlights, you can only see like a little bit of what's in front of you. You can't see all the way around. It's like that. Like, that's how you really got to live life, like just seeing what's in front of you instead of trying to see all the way.
Yeah,
because you never, like, our brains can only go so far to what's possible. Like the way things just pop back up from the past, and then like you see it had meaning so long ago, but you just could not decipher it at that moment. So you just gotta, because you could really, like, you never know. Like, I was watching a Big Sean. I watch these like house tours on YouTube because it like gives me motivation, like, to see how they put their houses together. And he got a house in LA on the hills, and his old apartment is all the way at the bottom, and he remembers looking in his old apartment at that house on the hill and being like, oh, I want to live there one day. And he actually ended up being in that house, and he says every day when he's making music in the studio, like, he got his thing on, he could turn around and see his old house where he said he was gonna live. And I just thought that was crazy. I was like, wow, like, that stuff really happens. Like, the stuff you say is not, like, you think is impossible. Like, once you, it just, I don't know. And then he still had the amazement. Like, he was still in shock. Even though he got this big old house, he got it filled. Like, this is what he does. Like, he's been there how long? He still was turning around in the camera like, wow, I just can't believe it. Like, he was still in shock. Like, so I think that's everything. Like, that just made me relax. So I was like, wow, it's gonna work out, bro. Like,
yeah, facts.
That's crazy to me.
And I feel like, because there's a lot of cliche shit that people say, but it's really
it be
facts.
true, don't it?
Yeah,
it be way
you,
deeper.
You know how people say chase your dreams? Like, that shit sounds so like yeah, chase your dreams. Like, of course you hear it all the time, but it's really facts, because if you really focus on your dreams, you can get that shit no matter what nobody say. Like, you can get that shit. And most of the people that say that chasing your dreams don't work is because they end up quitting. That's the only way that you're gonna not get to your dream, is if you quit and if you don't think about it as much. But if you're consistently saying, I want this, and you know that you want it and you're working towards it,
keep asking for it.
Yeah,
keep asking.
On me, you're gonna get it. I'll put it on everything. I don't care what nobody say. Everything I love, you can get it if you work to it, and if you say that you want it, you're gonna get it regardless.
It's gonna test you. It's gonna keep testing you. Be like, are you sure you want? It's gonna be like, you sure you want? Let's see. Let me put this in front of you. Are you still gonna want it? Then, like, you gonna keep getting tested and tested and tested to try to throw you off. Well, not to throw you off, but to like see like if this is really what you want. If you keep coming and keep coming and keep coming, one day it's just gonna, not even one day, but over time, like, it's gonna keep. Like, you think it's not doing nothing, but really you getting so much stronger. You getting so much wisdom. That's why when you quit something, you look back, you be like, wow, if I would have kept going, I would have been up here by now. Like, just now with me quitting the gym, like, I was really getting gains. Like, but in the moment, I was like, this ain't even working. But looking back, now I see I could have almost been there had I kept going. So, you just gotta keep showing up.
Yeah, just keep pushing through. And I like, it's gonna get there. And like, literally, like, it could have been the same situation with me saying like, I need to keep pushing through as a realtor. Like, because I can't say I had a bad time and stuff because I was talking to so many people. And if I would have kept pushing, I'm sure I could have been making a lot of money. But the only reason why I wouldn't look back and say like, oh, I fucked up, is because I had time to sit down and think about what I actually want and need to do. And I know it's not being a realtor full time. That's not what I want to do. That's not the type of help that I want to provide. I want to provide a way deeper help than just helping somebody get into a home. So little things like that. And like, yeah, because I always hear elderly, they'll always say the biggest thing the biggest thing ever is something that you regret not doing.
Man, what?
That shit.
Bro, that was one of my topics. Because I was like, I'm looking like, I really just turned 20 on Monday. But it's just like, Shannon texted me and was like, how you feel like these are your last days of being a teenager? And that junk hit me like crazy. I was like, these are the last days of me being a teen, like 19, 15, like that's over. Like, and I'm thinking like, I think about all those things. Like, I wish I would have been a cheerleader. I wish I would have tried out for that club. I wish I would have got up on the stage. And I don't want to live my 20s like that. I don't want a whole bunch of like, what if I did this?
Facts.
So that's why I'm just going for it. Like, I'm just like, I gotta make memories. I gotta make choices. I gotta make dumb decisions. Like, I gotta do stuff. Like, you gotta do stuff to see what you like and what you don't. Cause now I'm just wishing I had at least tried it to see if I liked it or if I didn't.
Exactly.
So that's what I gotta do coming Cause looking back, I don't
That
wanna feel
regret
like
shit
that.
is fucking
That
something.
hurts. It hurts. Cause like you had the potential, but you just had all this in your head. You had all these stupid stuff that didn't matter. Like, what if they laugh at me? What if they think I'm dumb?
Right, just
but you like
stuff like that.
That
exactly.
don't even matter no
it does
more.
not matter.
Like them people are not even here. Like you would have had it, and you would have all that caring about what people think on the stands. Like they don't care about
they
you.
don't care.
You just think.
They probably like whatever. Maybe it'll probably be there for like 1 minute, and then 1 minute they forget the rest of their life,
and then they just move on with their life. But you making it your whole everything. Like,
and the thing is, when it comes to stuff like that, and like you start to think about you like your regrets and like things that you didn't do, and then you start to overthink, and like it kind of, and that's why it could be bad in a sense as well. That's why you should do it, because like now you start to overthink, and you're like, if I would have done this then maybe right now I could have been doing this as well, or like maybe I would have never felt this way, or just a bunch of shit that comes with regret. Regret is a really bad feeling.
It is a bad feeling. You gotta think about it, because you gotta think about it. You gotta feel that so you can do it, but then you gotta get out of it. You gotta be like, well, now I understand this. Like now I'm like, okay, that sucks. Oh,
It's done.
oh, like that.
Fuck. So in 5 years, where do you see yourself? And in 10 years, where do you see yourself?
Because we almost had an accident, so I hope you're paying attention.
Oh, I'm paying attention.
Okay. In 5 years, I see myself out the country. I don't know which country I'm gonna be at, but I'm gonna have some stamps on that passport. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be mentally relaxed. Maybe I'll be a meditation teacher. Or something. You know, maybe I'll have a TED Talk. In 10 years, I want to have a TED Talk. I want to have my own TED Talk. I want to be helping people. I want to be making content, taking pictures. Maybe I'll be in real estate doing something, you know.
Any kids?
No babies.
No babies, okay.
No babies, but I'll be helping kids in another type of way. Oh my God, we gonna watch this.
Right.
Oh my God, hi Tina Goerlynn. That's what you look like, girl. That's what she was looking like. That's what she was working with.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what she was. Okay, come on.
Okay.
Let me see. We out here. Okay, are we? Maybe I should come with my own question. What would you say to your younger self? And then what would you tell your future self if you was like writing a letter or something?
My younger self, stop caring about other people's opinions. That's the biggest thing. Because most of the shit that I did a lot of things for people's approval, and that shit was ass. To my future self, I'll probably say, what's up? I'd probably say, damn, that's a hard one. To my future self, what? Oh, okay. To my future self, shit, that's hard.
Tell them that you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, okay, to your future self, like.
I know, like, what would I say?
What would you say? Like, I hope you.
Oh yeah, I hope that you did not succumb to your biggest fear, which is not dying at peace.
Well, it's a good thing to say. I want to die at peace. It's a very simple request.
You know, dying at peace. That's literally what we're doing right now. You just got to make sure you die at peace. Like that's the biggest thing, because that's gonna come regardless.
Right.
I feel like that's the hardest thing to overcome.
Only thing that's constant, really.
Yeah.
That we know for sure is gonna happen.
And for however long that we know for sure that's gonna happen, a lot of people can't cope with it. God forbid. But as of right now, if I were to die right now, God forbid, I would be at peace right now, because I'm content with everything I'm doing right now. I'm all completely okay. There are things that I want to do, but I can't control when I die, and that's a really hard thing to get over. Like, because you could die at any point in your life. You don't decide when you want to die. You don't.
But do we really die, or do we just go back home? Oh,
that's a fact.
That's another conversation, though.
Yeah, facts.
We should have talked about that, because I really have a lot to say about this. That's a really big subject. Anyways.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, what's what I'm gonna say? Say bye to future Arlene.
Big deuce.
Bye, L.